Sevgili Esport izleyenleri, Turkish Airlines EuroLeague'de Fenerbahçe Beko'nun medya gününden herkese merhabalar. Yanımızda Fenerbahçe Beko baş antrenörü Dimitris Itoudis var. Koç, kalimera.
Günaydın.
we changed the roles. Yesterday I even told you. Yesterday I was looking at your interviews during also the summertime. Everybody wanted to talk to you in Greek, even the people in Manila.
Well, yeah, the guy was trying to read from the, but it's always, it's very respectful. I take it as a respect that somebody wants to share with you like a couple of words or even kalimera or günaydın, nasılsın. So,
Yeah.
yes, and especially if you do it also in a more familiar way towards the, have a good accent. That's perfect.
That will be my dream, but for now I don't need that. So since we start talking in Greek, how was your summertime after the season?
Busy, no summertime. Very busy.
Always working with
Yes.
the national team. And how do you define everything that with the, because now when we look back during the Greek national team, that cup and that period, there were a lot of players missing in that tournament.
Unfortunately, it didn't work the way we wanted to with the federation. We asked for a continuity, pretty much what German national team and my colleague and a very successful coach, and congratulations, by the way, to Gordon Herbert, that they had a stability and the same core. We thought we could have had the same players from Eurobasket, more or less, with some addition. We were happy that Dinos Mitoglou is coming back to the court again, and he's ready to do what he's doing the best, playing basketball. But we had some bad luck, and we had some reasonable demands and actually requests, I would say, from the side of the players. Well, very early before, let's say, maybe 1 month, or maybe 20 days before the preseason, Kostas Lukas, he called me and he says, like, Coach, I need to give a rest to my body. And I understand Kostas, as every player, pretty much. Nick Kalathis did it a little bit later, let's say 10 days before the preseason, but he was in doubt again, like, should I? Maybe not, what is the best? And Tyler also was having the pregnancy of his wife, wanted to protect his back and his knee that still it gives him a pain. And but
And Giannis Antetokounmpo.
at the end, Kasselakis also, because we forgot about Leonidas. Leonidas is a very important player as well for national team. He was suggested by the doctors not to play basketball during the summer. And we had the brothers, the Tokubo, Kostas and Giannis, that they went under surgery and they couldn't recover on the time we want them to recover, or they wanted to recover. So, and all this, to summarize, like 6 players, and before the preseason, it's not an easy thing to handle. So
I agree.
And it's not Greece that he has a tons of players out there, but despite that fact, the players that they were called to participate to the preseason camp, starting from the captain, Kostas Papanikolaou, they were really very determined. I'm very proud of them. They create a great atmosphere, leave aside all the criticism, all the whatever happens, and we really created a good bond. Considering also the fact that one day before the tip-in, we lost Mitoglou, that he was the best scorer and the best rebounder. That was a kind of a shock. But still, the team had fought for him as well, and we gave our honest fights on the court. And again, I'm very proud of their performance, of their understanding, of their professionalism. Let's don't forget something which is significant. Players that they accept the call to go to each and every national team, they do a favor to the national teams in terms of the professionals that they compete in NBA or in EuroLeague or in any other level. They want to, rest their body, rest their mind, but still they go to play for their country. And that's what I said also, like, we realize all how small we are in front of the national anthem and in front of the flag.
True.
And in front of the understanding that you represent your country at that moment. So congratulations to all of them that they make it happen because all these players that they ask for rest, let's don't forget, and Slukas and Kalathis and Yanis and Kostas and Tuguba, they have gave so much to the national team. Tyler is new into that. He went through the Eurobasket or some qualification games, but still they have gave a lot to the national team.
Yeah, and you as well as a coach, because last week I was in Athens 5 days ago, and I was in the taxi, and the taxi driver said, "What do I do?" And I said, "Next week I will have an interview with Dimitris Itoudis," and then he said, "Please tell him that I say thank you for the summertime, thank you for what he has done to the national team, really." And I said, "Okay, I will say it." So I'm just saying it.
Well, that makes me proud. The fact that the healthy fans realized that the team had gave it all. The players were, as I said, very determined. It's a huge thing to represent your country. We're all very, very small, regardless of the name, the dimension you may represent into whatever ward or the microcosmos you are into. You know, when you realize that, and when your skin is jumping, popping out, or your hair is coming up, then you realize that it's huge. And I thank the taxi driver and all the healthy fans that they support the national team. Mm-hmm. I still am, and I will be the biggest fan of national team.
This is amazing. And then right after the national team period, the busy summer of yours, now we're right before the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague 2023-2024.
Ready to take off.
Ready to take off. How did the transfer, obviously everyone curious about this question, how was the transfer period for Fenerbahçe Beko and for you?
Busy for all of us, for Deria, for Mauricio, for me, for Mr. Sertac, and obviously a big thanks to Mr. Ali Coach for the efforts and the investment he did. He proved once again that he believes on us and he believes on this team. Huge support. Busy, but I think we have brought over here again, and let's clarify something which is very important there. We have players that they want to be over here, and that's very important. Nobody's under force over here. So we have brought 4 players that they are all for team. Mm-hmm. Sertac Stanley, that he knows the Turkish environment, he knows the club. He has a tons of experience from EuroLeague, very experienced player. I'm asking for him to make a certain adjustments now, probably to the 4 spot.
Okay.
Yorgos Papagiannis, that he from the very first moment he was concrete and very motivated to come and bring a different dimension into the style of the game we can play over here in Fenerbahçe. After so many great years he have had in Panathinaikos, that he was helped from the family of Panathinaikos, and he gave it all over there. He wanted to make a change as a free agent. To Nate Sestina, that he made his debut in Eurocup. He's going to play first time in EuroLeague, but he's a real soldier out there. Mm-hmm. He's all about team. And to Yamadar, as a rising star, coming from a great teacher, Željko, and environment of Partizan, that he was very decisive and very determined in terms to, I'm going to earn out there, despite of the healthy competition I have in my team and the ball creators that exist into Fenerbahçe, I'm going to earn everything on the court. So that says a lot of how determined he and how decisive and how much he believes in himself. So all 4 are for the team. Mm-hmm. They're going to prove that out there, and we're happy that we have them.
And then my colleague Didan, we're doing the halftime and post-game interviews with you and the pre-game interviews with you during the whole season. And then whenever we ask something, as a coach, you always, when we give some specific name, you don't accept it, and you always underline the whole team, the chemistry of all the guys who are playing on the court as 5 guys in the whole team, obviously. So when you look to the tournament in Rhodos, the island, and you won against Panathinaikos, that game, what did you see that game, that this new group of people that came for this new season as a chemistry?
Well, if you come one day before, we lost against Maccabi, and the performance was not good.
Yeah.
What we take from that tournament is the reaction we have had and the bounce back on the game after. We played against a team that this year invest a lot, and Mr. Yanakopoulos did a great investment, brought a new coach, a great coach, Ergin. So, they're targeting high. So we played it against a team that still is also on a process on building the chemistry, obviously. But we wanted to have a reaction, and we did show a reaction during the game. We were very motivated, and that's what it stays.
Sure.
We try to demonstrate also things like Sertac to play together with Papagiannis, Sertac to play together with Mot to play together with Papagiannis, all of them together with Sistina. It did not help us, the fact that Nigel was injured. A major piece from last year, it was injured. DP was injured, and he missed a lot of practices. Tyler Dorsey was injured together with Scotty Welbeck and missed a lot of practices in the preseason. So we try to use the friendly games in order to bring back the shape of certain players. So we know that Tyler is not yet in what Tyler can provide for us. But still, defensively, he's getting over there. He's trying to find his shape. And as soon as his knee doesn't bother him, then he's going to come back. So, yes, he was not the best that he could be, but he needs the friendly games and the games to come to get into the shape.
And then the chemistry is similar to last year, from what I've seen. But the last year, when we look at the last season, not last year, last season, as people, we learn from the mistakes and lessons. And as a coach, what would you tell as it was the lesson for me, for our organization, what we have witnessed? Which period of the season?
Well, definitely one of the things that you cannot actually handle as a coach is when knocked to the wood players are getting injured.
Sure.
And not only, I'm not trying to divide this are important, that is not important, but when you're missing at the same time your first two scorers or the first provider and the distributor or whatever, the facilitator and the scorer, talking about Scotty Welbeck and Mott, when the team was coming up, that was not an easy moment for us. So we try to, let's say, build the team with a good 15 players in terms of, if knocked to the wood, we may miss some due to the fact of illness or injury, that we can have players that they can really provide for us, for the team actually, and keep it there where it has to be. That requires a certain chemistry, because when you have healthy players, it's also about to share minutes and to share roles. But guess what? We need to deliver out there. It's time to deliver for all of us, and especially for players. I know it's not easy, but they are not being called over here to do the easy things. If you want to go all the way, you need to go out of your comfort zone. You need to fight adversities. You need to accept criticism. You need to be ready to sacrifice when your teammate is playing good, to sacrifice your minutes, etc. So that was the lesson. Try to have distinguished roles, certain players that they can play in a different possessions, and knock to the wood if bad luck happen, to try to cover it within.
Yes, and I think you're very successful about covering it. As a fan, I'm seeing it, not as a media person.
Thank you, buddy.
But last year, right before the playoffs, we were talking about the play-in tournament, if it's going to happen.
Yes.
And then it did.
So I gotta be proud for that. They heard me. Let's say they heard the EuroLeague head coaches board organization. It's a mathematics and it's logic. We've been 16 teams. We had 8 teams qualified to the playoffs, so that was 50%. Comparing with the NBA of 30 teams, 16 are qualified in is over 50%. Then we had 2 more teams and we stayed at 8, so we went below 50%. So the play-in system, I think that it gives the opportunity to the 9th and 10th team, from the 7th spot to the 10th team to the 10th spot. I'm sorry, to give it a try. And if you had some bad luck, if you had some, maybe underperformance in some games, to give the last shot. And it's going to be a lot of motivation and a lot of good games as well for the fans. So yeah, we're happy. I think that it's time to evolve. The sport can go further to the future. The next step probably is going to be even more teams. 20 teams, 22 teams. Why not 24 teams? Regions, and playoffs. Basketball is all about playoffs.
Yeah. Whatever you say, it's happening. So
It's not, I don't take it like that. I'm gonna say that we do have a lot of coaches that they are on the same page. We have the union of ours, the EuroLeague Head Coaches Board. We talk often. We share ideas, and I see that most of them, they do want more teams, more spectacular games, competition to come up. Yeah. We represent the club that this gym is full when we play EuroLeague. Then it comes to the Turkish league, and you witness something as a journalist, as a Turkish journalist over here, that I witness as a head coach of a Turkish team, that the interest drops drastically or dramatically, I would have said. Yeah. We play against Galatasaray, which is a derby, and there are 1,500 fans. We play against Olympiacos, is 12 and a half. Yeah. When we play against the Fes in EuroLeague, then we play a Fes on the Turkish league. Yeah. So we need to actually evaluate.
But how can it be? That was one of my questions. Because when we look NBA, I don't want to do comparisons because everyone is in these days doing comparisons. But this basketball is a one game, so that's why maybe sometimes we need to do comparison between NBA and EuroLeague. But when we look at the basketball in Europe, what is exactly missing in the basketball in Europe?
Well, first of all, comparison is undoubtedly something that you need to use it in your advance.
True.
Why I'm saying that is like United States is one country. It is a huge, big country, but it's one country. Europe is a continent, but it's a different countries under a different law, under different taxations.
Turkish lira, euro, or
under a different currency. So it's a different evaluation, but that doesn't mean we cannot have EuroLeague as the most and proven the most competitive league, where you need to invest on that and add some more spectacular games. When we were now in Barcelona on the annual meeting of the head coaches board, and also with EuroLeague, exchanging with Dan Bodiroga and his staff and Paulius Monteunas to the how we can evolve into the sport and how we can make this basketball game more attractive. And when I saw on the screen that we have more young fans into basketball, that makes me very proud. So, but they're very innovative as well. Like when you see the corner of the player, how the player watch into the game, and then they're they want to see a little bit the private life of the players, how things are going, the routine. So why we don't look and analyze how we can have a better competition? I know this might be the other question, but the local leagues, they might suffer. It doesn't have to be like that. Fenerbahçe still will compete in Turkish league, but that's a conversation to make, like with people that they have to pull the strings and the people that they have to take to make decisions. But I'm just saying, we need to analyze. People are giving us the answers. EuroLeague, the average 9,000 fans.
Yes.
Turkish league, the average drops in
1,500.
or maybe 2.5 or 3. So we need to evaluate, and we need to evaluate in terms to get the comparison, as you said, in your advance, and see what you can, the pieces you can get and implement into your society, into your continent, which is the Europe. And I think we can evolve. I think we can do many things, and we're discussing. As I said, we're in process. The play-in is one step.
Sure.
The fact that EuroLeague is also open mind. You see, they give now 2 challenges to the coaches. So we're coming slowly. We need the fact that FIBA and EuroLeague they set in the table. They gave that window now. EuroLeague gave the window. It's going to be a huge step. So we're looking forward, and the president of EuroLeague, Mr. Bodiroga, to meet with Mr. Zaglis, find some more solution, because we have to do on the same thing. This, what we all love, the sport, and to give to the fans spectacular games.
And as a coach, there are not so many coaches as you are on the courts or off the courts, because I watch, as I said, so many interviews of yours, your reactions on the courts. We witness it. You're a coach that would never back up. You like to give your reactions to the fans, to the referees, to media, to your players. You're showing your true colors, your own colors, without acting or without adding something else into your character. What is the secret about, or is it a secret that we call a secret, but it's characteristic thing, let's say, about being a successful coach, that you have to have these things, these unique things, let's say it like that?
Well, first of all, you need to be yourself. We're not here to act.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we're here to act in terms of helping the players, but we're not actors. In that terminology, let me put it. So you gotta be yourself. But I need to apologize, and to you, and to my colleagues, and to my players. Sometimes I cross the limits, maybe, and I need to. And if I did so,
mm-hmm.
In advance I'm apologizing. But you know, I'm a human being. That doesn't mean that I'm a robot at the same time. I am a human being, again, I repeat. So I'm just thinking loud now in front of the camera. And I'm exposing myself. Yes, I need to be more composed in many aspects. I need to change. And especially us coaches, we're obliged, and me, myself, also being also honored to represent the coaches as a president of EuroLeague Head Coaches Board. I need to be more composed in many aspects. We need to have a level, the conduct. Are we carried on from the situation, the environment, the fans? Sometimes, yes. Mm-hmm. So, but I am who I am, and I'm not faking.
This is what I meant.
I am over there to give my best self. Players, they know that I'm here to help.
Yes.
They're making it happen. The lights, all the lights should be and has to be on them. Those are the providers. Those are the ones that they provide the show. Those are the protagonists. There is, you know, I do believe that I have left a lot in my tank still. I'm young enough to provide ideas and to understand and to admit mistakes. I do mistakes. Who that works doesn't make mistakes. But let's reduce my mistakes into minimum so we can help more to win and to deliver. We're here to deliver, and we got to do it sooner, not later.
As a media person, I like the fact that when you went out after the Turkish Cup, on the cameras, you talked about referees. It's amazing to hear, because some coaches, not only in EuroLeague, in every single league in this world, or in every single sport, that they want to be silent about it, but you are not. As a media person, for me, I have to be careful about that, and I like it, because it gives me more opportunity to ask you more questions and different questions. So that's why it's important.
Let's take it from there. Like in EuroLeague, you're not allowed to talk about referees. You're going to be punished immediately. In Turkish league, I'm not going to talk about the referees. They're doing a very difficult job. It's not an easy job to referee. You're always, you know, on the mark. You're always, oh, you help this team, you help that team. So it's not an easy job. And I have an empathy and fully understand. But at that moment, when my team, when we felt as an organization, let's put it that way. I'm going out in front of the camera, but I have behind me 30 million fans.
Yes.
I have behind me the management. When we felt as an organization that there was major mistakes that causes the outcome of the game, then we decided to go public. And
so you decide with the group of
course, I'm not the one. I'm going out there and getting crazy. I'm not running we have a hierarchy over here. I don't own Fenerbahçe. I'm just the coach. But we need to defend the colors. We need to defend the institution. We need to defend what Fenerbahçe represents for this great country. So we went out public. Was that pleasant? No, it was not. We understood that we're gonna have a criticism out there, but we said, okay, let's do it openly about this and that. But that was one topic, right? Let's be honest. It was not to justify the loss.
True. Yeah.
No, FS is a great team and did an amazing job, and I congratulate them all, each and every one. They have won the series, and they were well deserved. After that, won the championship. So as we won and we put them out of competing into the playoffs as a defending champions, so we want to have over here in four lines on the court what we can earn on the court. So yeah, it happened at that moment that we decided to go public. Hopefully we didn't hurt nobody's image. It was a sequence of events after that with the federation and everything, but doing that again, I had a fully respect to referees and to the organization and to the championship. But people need to understand us as well. We defend 30 million fans, and when we felt that we've been heard in a certain way, we wanted to address that.
Yes, I agree with you. And so many fans, you're working with so many players, but sometimes people can ask you, fans can ask you that working with a superstar like Giannis Antetokounmpo. First of all, do you believe the term of superstar in basketball?
I don't know. You gave that name, journalist, and I respect that. What means superstar? You know,
exactly.
Who is the superstar? The one that shows himself more in Instagram or in TikTok, the one who has more advertisement, the one who has the biggest contract, or the one who busts his balls over here and working hours and hours and hours. Obviously, we're living in the media world where everything in a split of a second is out there. You know what happened in Manila, you know what happened in China, you know what happened in many countries within a second. But for me, a superstar is the one who loves the sport, who has fully understand of what it represents, and at the same time understands what happened out there in society. Sure. Because we're living in a micro world of, or a microcosmos, as we call it in basketball. But guess what? There's not everything around us, or there's people out there that they suffer. There are happening floods, fires, earthquakes. So we need to be towards the society, people that they have an empathy. So people that they do generate a lot of money doing a hobby, but at the same time we need to be also helpful. It doesn't have to be advertised. If one player or one coach is going to go and help one family in Turkey or 10 families in Turkey, it doesn't have to be advertised. At the same time, I do hear some voices says, yes, but you will give a good example if you advertise that. But some others, they will say, okay, the other is doing this to advertise himself. It's not about that. Do it in silence, help people, have a concrete understanding what's going on in the society. People are out there, they're having a hard time to make living. People over here are paying the ticket to come and see you, so you're obliged to give it all. And that's what is going to happen this year. We need to deliver more and more. We need to deliver passion. We need to deliver and leave the personal agenda outside. We cannot have a personal agenda.
I agree with you 100%. And if you, let's say, if you're not a basketball coach, what would it you be?
Well, that's an if question. Come on. How should I ask it on an if question? I don't know. I like what I'm doing. I think it's a karma. I like what I'm doing. But it's the why also. It's not about X and O's. Drawing this system, play that defense, put that player. It's also about help young people to understand that it's not only the basketball. It's many of them, they have families. They're fathers. Sure. So they have a huge obligation of what kind of a role model are for their children, for these kids that they're coming to watch. And thankfully, we have many of those that they understand their position. It's not just a pure basketball player that plays a game. Yes, it is at the end of the day. You need to compete. You wear shorts and you sweat to get the best possible result. But you're a role model out there. people they're watching you, what kind of statements you do, what kind of life you do. So I am Dimitris Itoudis, but I represent a big club of Fenerbahçe. So that has to be something that we carry on each and every game we play, each and every dinner we have outside, each and every party we go on at, each and every whatever social life we may have out there.
Yes. And looking back to last season and then now looking forward to this new season, what will be the most important parts that you as a group of basketball players, your players, that you have to improve on this new season?
Well, we need to have zero personal agenda. Players, they need to realize that they're players and they need to provide and they need to deliver. It's not an easy thing, but they're not being called over here for an easy thing.
Sure.
We have a huge competition. Yes, we do have. And in Turkey and in EuroLeague. EuroLeague this year. If last year was very competitive, watch the rosters, watch the additions, watch the movements that teams they're doing. Wow, this is going to be amazing. But we're ready to go. We had a bad luck. We signed a very important player, Raul Neto, that he got injured.
Unfortunately.
We kind of forgot him. Inshallah, as you say, we have players that they can cover the absence. So we're not crying for that. It's a fact. We have additions that they're all for the team, and we need to deliver. We had injuries. Deschamps didn't practice in the preseason well. Scotty Wilbekin and Tyler Dorsey, they did have injuries, and you see Tyler Dorsey is struggling to find himself, but we need to give him games to get loose and to find his shape again back. We talked with the doctors, we talked with him, his knee is better. So Nigel was missing a big part. A major piece of last year, he missed friendly games. He did not perform. So, you know, we need the bonding. So that's what we need first. We need the bonding, we need the chemistry, and we need to deliver immediately. Sooner, no later.
Sooner is the key of this season, the EuroLeague season. And obviously the fans, since they're watching you, since they're all the time watching you and cannot make it to come here, what would you like to tell them? That even the fans that see you on the street, that they want to congratulate you, they want to even talk to you genuinely. How do you feel about the fans since you accomplished 1 year, 1 season, and then starting the new season?
Well, I feel very proud. The fans are so supportive, either in my private life or when they come over here. They love the team. Obviously, they have many sections. It's not only basketball. It's also soccer. It's also volleyball. It's also, you know, other sports. But they have a pure and true love to Fenerbahçe. Fenerbahçe represents a lot in Turkey as a society, actually, as a club in general. And we have a mutual understanding. They know that I'm going to give my best. They know I'm not going to fake. And they know that I'm going to defend the colors of Fenerbahçe in whatever areas we feel that we've been attacked. We're going to give our best to make them proud. And this is huge also, how small we are in front of the 30 million that they represent this club and the history of Fenerbahçe. So we have a legacy behind and we have a future. So that's why I'm saying we need to deliver immediately.
And then my last question is, what would you like to hear this year from us, from media people, more? Or what you never heard from as a question that you would like to answer from your part to a media, to out there?
Very interesting question. First time a journalist asked me what you would like me to say. Like you got me unprepared. Like, but you know, I would like you journalists, you in plural and in majority to talk about basketball more and to get deeply into what the game of basketball is.
Yes.
Not only strategically, probably you have some coaches that they are analyzing the game, they help you into broadcast the game, and also to evaluate the competition from a different angle. Because when you see the things from a different angle, then the things you see they change. So you see it in a different ankle, you know, the thing. So how the team should have evolved, the season is long. There are certain things that the coaches are doing out there that they are not the crazy ones.
Very true.
So if I want to, let's say, protect my own kind, again, we don't need the protection in general, but we need an understanding. We're getting crazy out there, and, you know, we understand that the cameras need the drama. I'm fighting with a player, and the timeout, I'm cursing. I'm fighting with the referee, and then those are the coaches. No, the image of the coach is different. Coaches are also family men. They're under huge pressure, and the image of the coach, which is the one that handles these superstars, as you mentioned, the players.
Players. Humans.
That they come from a different, let's say, nationalities. They come from different beliefs. They gotta be one. So, if I may ask you, go gently with the coaches that they're doing their job. It's not just what you see as an image from outside. If a coach get mad on the referee, if a coach get mad for the play, if a coach get mad with the, you know, with his assistant coach, it's more than that. I'm telling you, all the coaches in EuroLeague, and most of them that I know in Turkish league, they're highly educated, and they have, you know, standards that they're very high. So, if I may say that.
Wow, that's all we need. All we need, really, because sometimes we're forgetting that we have to do empathy.
Empathy, yeah.
Always. That's why this question also helps me and my colleagues to understand you as coaches, to what you need also from our parts, because it's not one way, it's two-way around. And thank you so much for this.
Thank you, really, for this conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Coach, and have a great season.
Thank you.
Değerli esport izleyenleri, Koç Dimitris Itoudis'le yaptığımız röportajın sonuna geldik. Herkese iyi seyirler.